talk a little bit about single-handing. And I don't know, 10 years ago when I asked an old guy if I was silly to try to sail single-handed off the west coast of Vancouver Island and further south. His only comment to me was, "Son, make sure you stay tied to the boat." As you probably know, boats basically sail themselves, they drive themselves. Once you got the steering, the wind vane or the wheel pilot engaged, the boat basically will steer itself. And if you go overboard and you're not tied to the boat is gone, and you will be left floating in the water unless somebody finds you very quickly, especially in a day like today, October 24th, in Juan de Fuca Strait. The water is cold. The water's even cold in summer, and you'll be lucky if you last an hour. That's true in the northern waters. So basically, the name of the game is stay attached to the boat. So I do that in two ways. A little bit unorthodox. See here, I have this. It's actually a piece of old climbing rope that's about 38 feet long. It's the length of the boat. And this piece of rope, I can see it in a pile there. 38 feet long. I can go anywhere on the boat, and I don't have to untie. If the weather's rough, then I actually clip in twice. Clip in short with one of these, and I have jack lines. See here, a jack line. If I'm going to go forward, I clip that into the jack line, and I can very easily now walk forward. You can see it sliding along the sling. I can go right to the front, and if I do go overboard, that's a nice short line. Some of the comments, I don't leave with my long line, this old piece of climbing rope, I don't leave the marina. As soon as I leave the breakwater at the marina, I'm clipped to the boat. If it's a calm day like today, often I'll just have this climbing rope tie-in, and that'll be it. But if it gets rough, there's waves, then I'll double clip, and then of course there's the short clip too. And this is a store-bought one. They're cheap, but they're worth their weight in gold. The other thing, so jack lines on both sides. Stay tied to the boat. On my other boat, my 26-foot Contessa, I could actually go down below and stay tied in with this climbing rope. I'd actually sleep tied in. Because when things happen on a boat, they happen fast. And of course, single-handing, you're going to be tired, you're going to be a little punchy and delirious. You don't want to run up on deck and forget to tie in. So that's why I did that. The other thing that I'm going to show you is, okay, let's say you do fall off the boat. You're in the water, now you're getting dragged, you're tied to the boat. Okay, well, you got to get back in the boat. And if you're by yourself and your boat, has got a lot of freeboard, it might be difficult for some of us to climb back in. So what I do, it's actually a hangover from rock climbing. I have what's called atriers or aiders. They're actually little rope ladders that I drape over the side. Got 3 per side, so that if I do go in the water, I can grab these and climb out. Each of these has, you put your feet, your hands, and feet. So I've got one here, and one forward. I've got another one, draping out the back. One in the back, you got to be careful that it's not long enough to get in the propeller. The other way to climb into the boat is actually up using the wind vane and the power generator apparatus or mounting bracket as a ladder. So there's actually 7 ways to climb back into the boat. 3 rope ladders draping on each side. The nice thing about these nylon ladders is they don't damage the hull. It doesn't damage the fiberglass. They're soft. I just drag them, and I got 3 per side and the back. If you do go in the water, you want to get out of the water as fast as you can. That water is cold. And you probably got about a half an hour while you're functional and before you freeze up to get back in the boat. I mean, if you can't get in, you'll probably live for an hour. But you got a half an hour, maybe 20 minutes while you can still actually do something to get yourself back in the boat. And that's the critical thing. The other piece is that when the boat's heeled over, you will not reach the gunwale. If you fall off the high side and you're getting dragged, you will not reach the gunwale. You're going to have to hand over hand up on your tie-in, which most of us don't have the strength to do that. So if you can get over to one of these nylon ladders, then you can get in. Again, if you're sailing with 2 or more people, well, there's people on board that can help you climb back in, or they can rescue you, use a winch and all that. But if you're by yourself, you got to get back in the boat on your own. So, it doesn't look real pretty, but it could save your life. At the end of the day, we're out here to have fun, enjoy nature, but like Basil Drinnen said, it was Basil Drinnen. He said, "Son, you're going to single hand, make sure you stay tied to the boat." So that's what I do to stay tied to the boat and stay safe. Lots of ways to skin the cat. I don't have the netting on the sides, and I may get some of that. A lot of boats with high freeboard have the netting. It's a really good idea. I saw a boat the other day that had it and thought to myself, you know what, that'd be a really good idea to just help prevent going overboard. That old saying, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of figuring it out after the fact. So that's all for now. Okay, so show you a couple things. So I'm on my my 38-foot line. It's not actually 38, a bit less than that, but I can come all the way to the front. I'm not clipped short into the jack line. This is on my 38-foot line, and it's flat water right now, so it's not that big of a deal. But if it was rough or I was sailing, generally, if the boat was heeled over this way, I'd come up the high side. I'd have the short line clipped into the jack line. So now I can effectively walk all over again. See that? Unclipped, and I can make it home. Now, if I've got some work to do or something, and I get to where I'm going, I can clip short, or I can clip another anchor on the boat if I choose to. I can clip that, for example. That's a solid shroud. So then I would be triple clipped. But if I was leaning, for example, if I was leaning over, okay, now I'm not going to go anywhere. I'll fall, this line is tight. So that's kind of the idea. And I can go all the way back to the cockpit. Okay, watch your step. I'll be coming out of the cockpit. long line as well, so I'm actually clipped to the boat twice when I'm coming forward. And of course the other thing is, I didn't mention earlier, is everybody who goes offshore who's using a harness system should have a knife on a land, you clip to the vest that can easily be opened up. In the event, these have a quick release. I get pretty comfortable undoing the carabiner, but in the event, I could just cut this if I had to. So that's kind of, an escape knife. Everybody should have one if you're using a harness system. These quick releases, are nice. And I just, sort of keep it in a pocket there. Okay, the quick release is great. It's great until this thing gets hooked on something and now you're not clipped to the boat anymore. So, advantages and disadvantages. Yeah, you can escape easily, but you also may end up, coming undone when it matters. You go over the side, this thing catches on something, bang, you're dead. If it comes undone. So, it's nice to have a quick release, but I don't mind being hard clipped like this. Myself, grew up as a climber. I'm totally good with clipping and unclipping. But in the event that I can't get this undone, I do have, my quick knife. And just, practice, do it with your eyes shut and all that, just by feel, getting your knife open. So I just wanted to mention those two things. For working on the mast, there is an anchor here that, if I was working on something, I could, short clip there. And now it's super close. I'm not going to go over the side if, a wave hits or something. It's nice and short. And then when if you do, or if you are going in between, like, you don't want to use this line, then make sure you're clipped, if you're clipped here, that's all you got. Going back to the cockpit, make sure you clip in, before you unclip. So you're always clipped to the boat. And the old rule, one hand for you, one hand for the boat, still applies even when you're tied in. So thought I'd show you that in calm conditions. That's a little bit of the 5 cents on that. And then just while we're here, you can just take a look out over the side and you'll be able to see my there's one of my sling ladders in the water there, dragging along in the water. There's another one back there. It's the second one. In fact, this trip, as I was saying, I got 3. There's another one aft of the cockpit back there. So 1, 2, 3 ladders dragging in the water in the event that you go off the boat, even on a short sling. You got to be able to get back in, and that's something that I would certainly recommend that people practice, with other people on board. My recommendation is, warm day, bathing suit, all that. Go over the side with your tie and clip to the jack line. Get dragged in the water so you know what it feels like. I actually did it on the end of this line on my other boat, and I was 20 feet back behind the boat doing 5 knots. The water was otherwise calm. I was under motor power. I had somebody else on board. There's a trick to it. How do you claw your way back to the boat if you're 20 feet behind the boat? You cannot be on your stomach. Your nose nostrils will fill with water. The trick is, and put a life jacket on if you try it, right? Have people ready in case you don't make it. You're gonna flip on your back. Pull yourself along on your back so your back is surfing on the waves as you're pulling yourself to the boat. And then grab the ladder and then climb the ladder. And I did that a couple of times. My other boat had less freeboard, so I did it both ways, one with the rope ladders, one without. In this boat, I don't think I could reach the gunwale even in flat water. But it's a real eye-opener to see how hard it is. And there's some people will say it's impossible to get, keep these short because it's impossible to get back in the boat if you're getting dragged behind it. Well, it's not impossible, but it can be extremely difficult. And if the water's cold, this was in perfect conditions in Mexico, so if the water's cold and you got all the gear on, you know what? It may, in some cases, it may well be just impossible. You'll have to get that surge of adrenaline. But do it, try it, so you understand how hard it is to do. And then you'll be thinking twice and 3 times about where you're clipping and how you're clipping and are you double clip or single clip, and go from there. So that wraps up the seminar on staying tied to the boat, as Basil Pinnon would say. Most boats can handle way more than we can, and especially as single-handers or short-handed. The other piece, you're short-handed, so you got 2 people on a passage. It's at night. One person goes down below, goes to sleep. The other person's in the cockpit, goes up on deck. Bang, they're over the side. If they're not clipped to the boat and it's this water, they'll probably be dead by the time their friend wakes up. Even if their friend, even if they are clipped to the boat, they better be able to get back in on their own, or they're going to be, pounding on the hull as you're being dragged, so your partner can wake up and come and help you. All of that again being said, so even short-handed, it's a big deal, right? And if you are getting dragged, you just and you don't, your partner doesn't wake up and it's cold water, and hey, you're on 3 and 3 or 4 and 4 watches, and 3.5, 4 hours later, your partner comes up and your partner's dead being dragged by the boat. You don't want to have that happen. That's a terrible situation. And I'm not trying to be sensational here. These are the very real hazards that we're talking about, hazards we're trying to manage. And everybody needs to be, I believe in being aware, speaking to the hazard as it exists. Don't overstate it, don't understate it. Just be factual, and that's what we're talking about. Anyways, happy sailing after that. That wraps up the little piece on staying tied to the boat. Critical importance, and see you next time.